The eighth and final stage of Paris-Nice was finally under the sunshine. The race to the sun living up to its name, albeit on the last day. And what a last day they had in store for us. Just under 120 kilometres, with the usual up and down stage being tweaked for this edition. Col de la Porte returning for the first time in 15 years, the second highest summit of this year's race. And it was over the top of that summit that Mads Pedersen went on the attack. He'd already gone 4 times on the climb to be brought back every time, and there were only 30 riders left in the bunch. Already big names like Lenny Martinez dropped from the main bunch of favourites. Pedersen was on his way to getting a very good gap of a minute by the time they got to the Côte de Pays. But before that, there was big news for Matteo Jorgensen. The Visma Lease bike leader was isolated, no teammates around him. On that next climb, Jorgensen was already tested, and he had to follow Lipovic's not once, but twice, as Lipovic's teammate Vlasov attacked with Felix Gall. 41.5 kilometres remain when they went over the top with Pedersen, who'd lost his minute of a gap over the top. The Dane was trying to take points for the green jersey competition. His problem was they wouldn't come until the top of Col d'Ez, another plenty of kilometres down the road with another hill to climb. But he continued to fight as one of his big rivals, Tim Medlier, for that jersey, climbed off, not finishing. Once again, Pedersen rode with Vlasov and Gall, and yet again established a gap. Behind, the Ineos Grenadiers worked, and then Foss let the wheel go, Sheffield attacking with 35 kilometres to go. Jorgensen knowing that he couldn't chase every move anymore, and with Sheffield at almost 3 minutes down in the GC, he wasn't overly worried at this point. Jorgensen, though, did spring into action with 26 kilometres to go, and on the slopes of the famous Col d'Ez, finale of many Paris-Nice past. His best form of defence turned to be attack. And as he went away, Pedersen hung on well. Sheffield by this point had reached the front. Jorgensen wasn't far behind, but the intermediate sprint was coming up, and Mads Pedersen managed to secure the green jersey in heroic fashion. Next up, the fight for the stage and maybe the GC. That was looking good for Jorgensen. 15 seconds behind with 24 kilometres to go. Still with Vlasov and Gall for company, but Sheffield was out alone and about to take on the final climb. The Col des Quatre Chemins is steep and very, very nasty. Sheffield left Pedersen behind. And still, before he got to the steepest ramps, he was 15 seconds ahead. Jorgensen and company got down to 12 seconds. But the Ineos Grenadier was looking good to extend his gap. Behind, Lipovic put in one final dig. Arendsman was trying to hang on to his own podium place as well. And then he decided to attack, even though his teammate was at the front of the race. There was an issue behind for Champoussin. And Gall was reached once again by Jorgensen. 22 seconds on the descent with 5.5 kilometres to go. Sheffield was almost home and dry for a first ever World Tour win. Jorgensen, though, continued to put in the power. But Sheffield knew that he was about to win this particular battle of the two American heroes. Both of them ironically resident in Nice, and for Magnus Sheffield, after 3 years without a win, after having been on the side of a mountain in Switzerland, the physical and mental scars overcome, winning a first World Tour race, and as well, Matteo Jorgensen bringing it home 2 from 2. A brilliant Paris-Nice win overall, a superb defence of the title, this time withstanding all the pressure of having been the defending champion and having turned up with a 2-time Tour de France winner. The other group came in behind, GC places not too affected. Sheffield would move up to 4th. And a huge stage win for him. Ineos Grenadier's first stage win at this race since 2018. Jorgensen, the adapted homeboy, winning again. He finished in second on the day behind the winner, Jorgensen. Double American celebration with Felix Gall in third. Magnus Sheffield making it to the top of a World Tour podium. thanking all the support that his family and friends have provided him. A huge talent making this big breakthrough. Kudos too to Mads Pedersen, stage winner on day 6 and winner of the green jersey. He beat Jorgensen in that competition by 5 points. He's also ready for Sanremo, some would say. Gachignard, king of the mountains, holding on brilliantly despite the big mountain stage wins that took 20 points for Stora and Almeida. A good prize for Total Energy and their work in the early breakaways at the start of the race. Florian Leibowitz ended up as the best young rider, a white jersey for him, finishing just over a minute ahead of Magnus Sheffield in that competition. Leibowitz taking second overall. A good week for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe with their young German star. The Ineos Grenadiers, in the meantime, would take the team classification and take it very comfortably. The team plan helping to win that final stage too. So they were allowed to stand on the podium together at the end. And Matteo Jorgensen was the main man in yellow. Jorgensen, Leibowitz, Arensman the podium. A victory margin of 1 minute 15 seconds for the man from Boise, Idaho, but resident in Nice. 2 Paris-Nice in a row. And his stock continued to rise. A full winter of hard preparation, and Matteo Jorgensen wins Paris-Nice for the second time. Plenty more coming up as we go to Milano-Sanremo. You can watch it all on TNT Sports.